I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. It's Western Conference versus Eastern Conference here in Dallas, Texas, where the Mavericks will try to protect home court. This, of course, their first chance to play Miami this season. They lost both of the matchups in this interconference battle a season ago. They'd like to change that now. We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kev. Well, Rick Carlisle is a coaching graybeard. He's entering his second decade as coach of the Mavericks. He led them to the franchise's first and only title in 2011. Now, Eric Spoelstra lost that series to Carlisle, and he says of him, he's a Hall of Famer, a trailblazer as president of the Coaches Association. We all owe him a great deal. Kevin?
He is a legend. Thank you, DA. Brent, I know it's a long season, but there's something special about NBA opening night.
We do a great job of presenting that, too. Every year, there's just spectacular stuff going on all day long. So many people are fired up to get to the arena. People coming early, festive. You get your new gear on. You got the new colors, whatever the new shoes are. Everybody's got them on. Let's get fired up and throw it up.
You remember opening day, don't you? Especially as a rookie, I would assume. My goodness.
Of course, the very first opening day sticks with you the most. Mine happened to be with the Los Angeles Clippers when I was drafted by the Denver Nuggets, traded to L.A., but I do remember that day, and I still have that jersey, Kevin.
No kidding.
Well, it didn't get played all that much in the first game, but I still have it.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, Richardson and Johnson are the forwards. Dragic and Waiters, they're the backcourt. And it's Whiteside in at the center position.
And certainly not lacking in confidence. When Doncic gets these inside looks, he just jumps all over.
And so it's the Mavericks getting on the board first. Johnson right side. 6 on the shot clock. Over Barnes. And the basket by Johnson.
That's just a mindset right there from James Johnson. You challenge him in the painted area all you want, he's going to go right back at you.
Remember back in 2016, James Johnson signed a make-good contract with the Heat. He's transformed his body, going from about 274 to under 240. And in the following season, they rewarded him with a 4-year, $60 million deal.
Barnes. And too long on the shot. There's 1:38 left to play here in the first. Count that one.
He's reliable, capitalizing on the inside. You have to keep Johnson from getting in that close.
And for James Johnson, losing all that weight seems to have unlocked his versatile, high-energy game, Greg.
Yeah, and this lower weight, Kevin, this guy's a wall of muscle. You combine that with the greater mobility, and now he possesses an athletic advantage most every night he takes the floor.
Barnes can't get it to go. Johnson against Barnes. Richardson, good.
Well, Richardson came in shooting threes and thought that might be the only thing he could do. He's no one-trick pony.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Smith kicks to Barnes. Drops in the tray. Barnes has got himself on the board with 3 there.
And no matter who it is, that kind of D isn't going to get it done.
Johnson the screen. Outside Dragic. Whiteside sets the pick for Dragic. And another basket for Miami.
Well, when you have an outstanding point guard that's making outstanding decisions like Dragic does, it can be lethal.
And here's Smith. Unloads from 13. Misses off the right iron. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Miami ahead. They're up by 3. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
I mean, through that first quarter, to me, it's all about their D.
Well, there's a lot of ways to build a lead. This one's built on stops.
The Heat leading by 3. Well, Brent, the Heat with an experienced front office and one of the best young coaches in the league in Eric Spoelstra.
Yeah, Spo has done a remarkable job. Tremendous amount of respect around the league for the way that Eric Spoelstra goes about his business, the way he handled the title runs and all those personalities and those dynamics. He has been fantastic and will coach in Miami for as long as he wants to. The way he goes about it is pride, work, and respect for anybody that walks through those locker room doors.
On the wings, it's Doncic and Barnes. Powell is out there with Nowitzki, and it's Barea in at the point guard. That's the lineup out there for the Mavericks. Here's Barea after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. Powell kicks to Barnes. Over Winslow. Shot is good, and the Heat's lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Barnes. 1:58 left here in the second. Johnson against Barea. And so it's going to be a 3-second violation out there on the defense. So many teams switching the pick and roll, and we can see it defensively, what it does. How are offenses countering that?
I think the offense is what they're doing, Kevin, is being selective as to who it is comes out to set the pick. If I'm Steph Curry or I'm Kyrie Irving, and I know that there's a big defender guarding my 4-man or my 5-man, I'm going to call that screen up to the top of the key and make sure that I can go at the weaker defender that's guarding either one of my players to gain advantage.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Wade misses.
Wow, just in shock that he missed that layup. Not a lot of defense there.
Barnes kicks to Powell. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way.
And taking a look now at the stats for Johnson, how he performed last season. Averaged about 11 points a game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And guys, no question, he's a guy with some talent. But honestly, even he'd like to see those numbers improve.
From all the whispers that we've heard, he's been working hard on his game. It just has not showed up yet in the box score.
Now here's Johnson. Screen by Olynyk. Fires from 14. No good. Now Dallas takes it the other way.
And Tyler Johnson, undrafted out of Fresno State back in 2014. One of those lunch pail players. Didn't take him long to make his mark in the NBA.
Defense has to feel fortunate. Somehow he missed that opportunity, and still there's no reason for them to give up that kind of open shot.
Now here's Barnes. He has 5. Doncic with it. Wade picks him up. Here's Barnes. Gets a hand on it, and staying with the play, Nowitzki.
Oh, a nice tip in to salvage the points from that missed shot.
Yeah, and those second chance points can add up. Here's Wade. Screen by Olynyk. Wade outside. Clock at 6. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Wade is a very consistent performer from the foul line. This is why you always avoid fouling him if you can.
First one falls for him. And the Mavericks will go for a different look here. Jordan, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Maxi Kleber comes in for Dwight Powell. Matthews, he's checked in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Dennis Smith in for Doncic. And a new group getting ready for Miami. Whiteside's checked in for Adebayo. Johnson comes in for Kelly Olynyk. Rodney McGruder's checked in for Justice Winslow. And Ellington is subbed in for Tyler Johnson. Both shots good from the stripe. We're just over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Smith outside. Jordan with the screen on Wade. Jordan the screen. And here's Barea outside. And that concludes the first half. Heat lead by 6. And we'll get going after this from the American Airlines Center.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. They did jump out to a lead in the opening period, but 4 points was the biggest it got. For the Heat, Kenny, what did you see from them?
They were really efficient on offense, shared the basketball well, great shot selection. That accounted for a high field goal percentage in the first half.
And Shaq, what did you see from Dallas?
They did some good things, but not enough. They need to start being more assertive. Go harder to the rim. Generate some free throw opportunities at the very least. Do something.
And now with the second half about to get underway, let's send you back courtside. See everybody with Kevin Harlan.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. D-Wade really playing well in this one.
Yeah, and night after night, man, it just becomes common to watch him rip through teams, and that's exactly what we saw there in the first half.
Well, the defense pays so much attention to him. I think that's where we marvel at his ability to continue to find shots and still deliver.
Welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. On the floor for Miami. Down low, it's Johnson and Whiteside. Dragic and Waiters, they're the backcourt. And it's Richardson in at the 3 slot. A fadeaway. Whiteside, no good.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
And DeAndre Jordan, the all-time leader in career field goal percentage, Greg, by a sizable margin.
Yeah, the most prolific dunker in the league, maybe in league history.
Here's Richardson after Wesley Matthews' score. Whiteside sets the pick for Dragic. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Yeah, and it is that screen that opens up the necessary space for Dragic to drain the shot.
Johnson against Barnes. In the corner, Smith with it. Bangs home the trifecta. Smith's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
Just like to see the defense get more aggressive. They are asking for trouble as they're giving up open looks to this point.
Whiteside, a screen on Matthews. Richardson against Matthews, and stolen by Jordan. And here we go, fast break. Barnes has got it. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Hassan Whiteside continues to develop. Now, Miami coach Eric Spoelstra said it's got nothing to do with his stats. He's going to do that no matter what. It's about making winning plays and caring more about his teammates than he cares about himself. Now he can lead in a different way because he has the respect of the locker room. Kevin?
Terrific, DA. Thank you. Mavericks trail by 3. Now, Doncic. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It goes on Dion Waiters.
And possesses such a refined feel for the game. Doncic knows he has what it takes to be a great player in this league.
Dallas shooting their first free throws of the game. That free throw good from Doncic. And Luka Doncic, not the top pick in the draft this past June, but one of the more exciting names out of this rookie class.
Dallas made a point to trade up and draft him. Doncic not playing in the summer league as he has had a hefty workload in Europe before the draft. Still came away with Euro MVP honors, and at his age, that is incredible.
That one falls, so he hits both of them.
And looking at Luka Doncic, incredibly mature for his age. Physically, the broad shoulders, weighing in about 230. Mentally, though, advanced understanding of how to play the game.
Matthews up top. Doncic kicks to Barea. Passes it to Kleba. Out to the right wing. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Doncic. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
I'm just wondering why the defense is laying off. Luckily, they didn't pay for their mistake.
Magruder passes to Dragic. Back to Magruder. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Heat out front. They lead by 1. And do not go away, as we'll be back in just a few moments with the start of our fourth quarter coming up next. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
Well, there's a way to break down the defense with the handle, but you can do it with the pass. Prime example of that right there.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. We've got Matthews. Nowitzki is out there with Dwight Powell. Then there's J.J. Barea. And it's Kleba in at the small forward position. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas. Winslow wide open. He fires. A quick shot there, and it's off target. The Mavericks trailer. Down low. It's tipped. And it's out of bounds. The Mavericks able to retain possession here.
Just active defensively here, being extremely disruptive.
Like the aggressiveness and a great effort just to get a hand on it.
Kelly Olynyk's checked in for Miami. Wade comes in for Wayne Ellington.
And listen, you can't design a play any better to get a look that good. Just couldn't knock it down.
The best players know that is going to happen, and you just can't let it get into your head. It's a shot that you want to take.
Now Matthews, after Justice Winslow missing on that last three-pointer. Nowitzki kicks to Kleba. Wesley Matthews on the wing. Wade is covering to take the lead, so they take the lead.
And they are amped up right now. I mean, after trailing for so long and then trimming that margin, finally they take the lead.
A different look for Dallas. Jordan, he's checked in for Nowitzki. Harrison Barnes comes in for Maxi Kleba. And Smith subbed in for J.J. Barea. And then for Miami, Whiteside's checked in for Kelly Olynyk. Johnson comes in for Justice Winslow. And it's Richardson in for Rodney Magruder. Miami trailing. Johnson the screen. It's Richardson on the wing. Out of bounds. It'll be Mavericks ball.
And the score being this close, you have to retain possession of the ball. You just can't give it away like that.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Doncic is checked in. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Jordan the screen. Jordan with the screen on Dragic. Floats one, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And Miami called for the foul. Gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And a tough break as his second attempt at the line. No good. Richardson kicks to Dragic. Wade outside. Johnson in the corner. 6 on the shot clock. And going out of bounds. Last touch by Barnes. Johnson, the pass to Dragic.
An area he must sharpen over time. Smith Jr. has the defensive skills. Just needs to work on his will.
Barnes can't get it to go. The Heat trail by 3. Shot on the wing. No good from Dragic. For Dallas, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Barnes passes to Matthews. Dragic against Smith. Dragic kicks to Richardson. Johnson outside. Smith against Dragic. 5 on the clock. Here's Whiteside. Oh, took the contact and tried to throw it down over the top, but instead he'll shoot free throws. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to fall.
And the personality of Whiteside can be infectious when he's engaged. And there are times when I think the coaching staff tries to draw that out of him, make him more competitive, more consistent.
The Heat making a switch here. Waiters is checked in. And he does get the second one. And that brings them within 2 here.
Only down 2 now, but that miss might come back to haunt you. If they don't get a stop, it's back to a 2-possession game.
To the inside. Yes!
Well, determined that time to get to the rim, anticipating the pass, and a rim rocker.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. Timeout called the Heat. They're trailing by 4. 24 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Luka Doncic.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sideline.
During that break, Eric Spoelstra had some words for his team. And even though they're down, he was confident. He said, look, guys, I've got all the confidence in the world in you. We've been down this road before. You know what we need to do. Kevin, let's see if they can overcome this deficit.
And an intentional foul right there.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here. So now it's a 4-point ball game.
Tons of credit there on the focus level to stay calm in a huge moment, and he ices the game.
Timeout called the Heat. They're down by 4. There's 10 seconds left to play in the final quarter. What's your take, guys?
Well, I mean, if they can score, then they're going to have to foul immediately.
Well, I'm sure that's part of the discussion, not whether to foul, but maybe who.
There's 10 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Raiders no luck. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Two shots. Last on the first.
He drops the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
And you know, known for that rim-rocking dunking ability, Smith Jr., though, a special talent. This is a guy who wants to keep getting better over time.
And the second free throw, no good. A tough break there. From deep, off the mark. So we see the Mavericks get the win here. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it matters most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. DeAndre, you were active at both ends today. How did you get yourself going?
I think it was just us trying to come out and win a game at home. We know how important these are. Every game that we play is important, so we just got to keep it going.
And you protected the home court well, DeAndre. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.